Suzume, directed by Makoto Shinkai, is another beautiful animated film directed by Shinkai since Your Name and Weathering with You. As an anime lover, I paid much attention to when Suzume was going to be released in North America. So last month, I went to AMC. Hey, how do you do? This is Carter here. Here is Suzume anime movie review.
Hey, how's the movie?
Give my money back, give my money back.
Suzume tells a coming-of-age story of a 17-year-old girl. Suzume encounters a young, handsome guy and helps him close doors from the other side that are releasing disaster all over Japan. I really enjoy the soundtrack and I love how the film transforms human into an object, which is very weird and funny. I know many of you guys love Makoto's work because his visual style shows a heightened version of reality with unnaturally shining objects and saturated colors which looks really gorgeous. Yeah, I love it too. Bruh, I'm a huge fan of Your Name and the Garden of Words. I was strongly impressed by Makoto Shinkai's style of conveying emotion. It's in a twinkle. It's like an orgasm. His film usually has a very powerful sequence that delivers all the emotion together all at once. But I didn't feel it strongly in Suzume. And I was like, oh, what is this piece really about? The movie talks about earthquakes, and the main thing of the movie is to inspire those who survive from the earthquake and many kinds of misery. Suzume is about the main character's journey to find the meaning of life. This is great. She and the guy must close those doors to prevent further disasters. If you don't close the door, there will be an earthquake in the local area. For the first one, the moment they closed the door, I thought it was really cool. They closed the door and the movie transitions to the main title and the opening song. According to the setting of the story, the door will only appear in abandoned places such as the old amusement park and the school. Interestingly, if you know some earthquake history of Japan, the places where the earthquake appear in the movie are those places where those major earthquakes have occurred in Japan. I think Makoto Shinkai did it on purpose too. To be honest, I didn't notice it because I'm not a Japanese. I was a little confused because I didn't know Makoto Shinkai's intention to place so many cinema plots of closing the door at the same time. It happens 3 or 4 times, right? For me, it just feels like they are all the same beat. The worms appears, okay, then Suzume has to stop it. She closes the door, then goes to another city, and then another worms appears again. Usually I would do some research like what the movie is about, but I decided not to do it because I just wanted to enjoy the film. I thought it was a story that is more about traditional boy meets girl. It was until Suzume opened her diary. She painted everything on that day because she didn't want to look back to that day anymore. And the date on the top of the page, March 11. And I was like, damn, March 11, are you serious about that? This is heavy, bro. I didn't know those major earthquakes occur in Japan, but March 11, if you don't know March 11, you may not get it. The movie talks about love, talks about romance. There's a question that made me confused throughout the movie. What motivates her to help the young handsome guy close the door? And my conclusion after watching it was, the guy is just too fucking handsome for her. She just has a crush. What other answers could we have? I thought everything went too ridiculous for me. Suddenly, she ran away from home. Suddenly, she dropped off the school and she went to the places that the guy was looking for. Okay, I assume that she saw the guy in her dream or in her childhood, whatever. Did you guys remember the 2 shot near the end of the film? She is standing with Sota in front of the child Suzume. That's why she said she remembered the guy, but how am I gonna know at the beginning of the movie? I thought she just had a crush on the guy and everything just went too crazy. What is that? So what about having just an insert shot from the dream in between? Does this make more sense to you guys? In this case, we will know that, oh, they have met before in the dream, so we will wonder what their relationship will be like in the beginning. In the movie, there's only a line. I think I've met you before, or something I can't remember. This is such an important line, but I didn't see the movie emphasize it. It's like when you crush on somebody on the street and you don't know what to say, and you say, I've been watching you. Not like a creepy way. I think I've met you before. So while watching this movie, I just couldn't figure out why she's so obsessed with Sota that she would devote all. For me, it's such a failure that Makoto Shinkai included this kind of romantic element to the movie. I don't know if this works for you guys, but I think we don't even need that in this movie. Remember, this movie is mostly about earthquake and the hope? It's because it's so confusing that Suzume falls in love with Sota at first sight, and that's why their relationship doesn't help explain it. For me, the ending is like telling me mom passed away, but there's still hope. Because I have a handsome guy by my side. And Suzume was originally supposed to fall in love with another girl, but they will make more money if they make something more like Your Name. It's almost Makoto Shinkai's first LGBTQ romance, but I don't know if that is true. The movie talks about family. Suzume's mom passed away in 2011, so she needed someone to take care of her. Then it's her aunt. It's not a real mother-child relationship. Her aunt is a street person to Suzume, and Suzume wants to be free. So the conflict is there. But I was very confused why Makoto Shinkai introduced another character to avoid solving this conflict. That fucking black cat. Dude, I was confused. Where did you come from? The characters are yelling at each other. It's a climax of the plot. Now you are telling me her aunt was influenced by the fucking black cat? Imagine now, you are jerking out, and it's very close, very close, very close, very close, very close. Your bestie comes in. The movie talks about hope and the future. Have been shedding a lot. Let's go back to why the storytellers made this movie. Japan is one of the regions with the most natural disasters in the world. Earthquake, tsunami, typhoon, and disaster hurts people. I still remember I've experienced one. It's called Typhoon Meranti. I couldn't sleep all night. Everything just went so fucking crazy. I literally couldn't hear anything. You know what? The island was shaking because the wind was so strong. When I woke up in the morning, I just couldn't believe that's the city I lived in for 17 years. But later on, we, the people, rebuilt our homeland. It's a very inspiring story. I still can remember everyone became a volunteer to help rebuild our home. So for this reason, I can relate to this story. Makoto Shinkai wants to encourage those who have experienced this, especially those people who suffer from the Great East Japan earthquake. He put March 11 directly on the big screen. Okay, let's talk about characters. The main character Suzume clear in the story? Absolutely not. If we ignore why she falls in love with the guy and only pay attention to her journey, then maybe yes. Because the story begins when she decides to follow Sota. And I was kind of lost because what motivates her to do it was very confusing. Sometimes she becomes brave out of nowhere. What does she want? She just wants to kiss that guy. What if I'm not handsome, little girl? That handsome guy, Sota, who seduced our main character. Yes, I agree that you are handsome. He's actually a very interesting character. I told you guys I really love the chair setting. It's very weird, very cute, and very funny. The chair lost its leg, it's not perfect anymore, but Sota can still run with the wind. Yeah, it's a very interesting setting. I think it helps develop the theme as well. Suzume is a Japanese animated fantasy adventure film written and directed by Makoto Shinkai. Spectacular animation as usual, very nice soundtrack, interesting settings, but I don't like it. It's not a very grounded film. Many questions are still unclear and I still couldn't find the right answer. The experience of studying the film school this year taught me so many things. Do not throw a bunch of questions at the beginning of the movie. If you don't solve it, the biggest word from the audience will be confusing. Yeah, I think the story has potential to become better. But it's a feature film. Audience will get bored if it's longer than 3 hours. Shinkai just couldn't explain everything to the audience within 2 hours. If this is an anime series, I believe it will be amazing. Unlike Your Name and Weathering With You, the main character chooses to accept reality. It's a completely new mindset from Shinkai's film. It just reminded me of the year when typhoon came to my city. Because in reality, when a disaster comes, there's no time for you to react. You can't use any superpower to change it or go to the past. All you can do is to accept it. Like, I want the MC to return my 21 bucks back. But now, I've decided to make a video for you. Thank you so much for watching. My channel makes content about anime and movies. Sarabato.